All right, get a load of this. We are literally surrounded by stuff. Lights, motors, sensors, you name it, that are just sitting there. They're waiting for someone to walk over and flip a switch. It's so old school, right? So inefficient. But what if you could hook all of that up to the internet? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into today.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. You can order a car or a pizza from your phone, no problem. But you still have to physically drive out to some remote site just to check a sensor or turn on a pump? It feels like a total disconnect. There's just so much dumb equipment out there that we can't talk to from far away. Today, we're going to fix that.
And this is the hero of our story. This little board right here, the CIEM10A from Sollae Systems. I know, it looks pretty simple, but don't let that fool you. This thing is the missing link. It's the key that connects our physical world to the online world.
Okay, so its official job title is Remote I/O Controller. And that I/O part is super important. It stands for input/output. Basically, think of it like this. It listens to what's happening in the real world with its inputs, and then it tells other things what to do using its outputs. And it does all this over the internet. It's kind of like a digital middleman.
So how does it actually do all that? Let's break down its most basic job, which honestly you can just think of as its eyes and its hands for interacting with everything.
First up, you've got 8 digital inputs. These are its eyes. They're designed to just sit there and watch up to 8 different things at the same time, just waiting for a signal.
And, of course, to go with those eyes, it's got 8 digital outputs. You guessed it, these are its hands. So once it's seen something happen with its eyes, it can use these hands to actually do something about it.
Now, digital I/O can sound a little technical, I get it, but this analogy makes it so simple. Just picture the inputs as bouncers at a club door, with those little clicker counters. They don't care who you are, just if you're coming in or not. It's a simple yes or no. The outputs, they're like the bouncers yelling at the DJ to turn the lights on. It's all about simple commands, on or off, open or closed. That's it.
But, sometimes a simple on or off just isn't enough information, right? Sometimes you need to know how hot something is or how much pressure there is. You need a vibe check. And for that, the CIEM10A has a secret weapon, a single 10-bit analog input. Now this one port is special. It doesn't just see the world in black and white like the others.
And this right here explains it perfectly. A digital input is like a standard light switch. It's either all the way on or all the way off. But an analog input, that's your dimmer switch. It can tell you if the lights are at 10% or maybe 47% or cranked up to 95. It reads all the nuance, all those in-between values, and that is absolutely crucial for monitoring stuff like temperature or pressure.
Okay, this is where this little box gets really smart. Because see, it doesn't always need you to be there telling it what to do. It can basically run on autopilot.
It's a feature called the macro function. And if you look here, you can see how it lets you create a direct link between one of the inputs and one of the outputs. This lets the module react all by itself, automatically, without having to phone home to a computer or wait for a human to do something. It can just act on its own.
For instance, you could set up a really simple rule, something like this. Hey, if the pressure sensor on input 3 drops too low, then I want you to immediately turn on the pump that's connected to output 5. And the CIEM10A just handles it all by itself. The response is instant, it's reliable, no questions asked.
So that's all great for new stuff. But what about all that expensive old school equipment you already have? The gear that was built way before the internet was a thing in every building. Well, this little box says you covered there too.
See, on top of everything else we've talked about, it's also a serial device server. That means it can take one of those old school serial connections and pop it right onto a modern internet network, just like that.
I absolutely love this analogy because it's perfect. It's like teaching your grandpa how to use TikTok. You've got this really valuable, reliable, old piece of equipment that speaks an older, simpler language. This module acts like the patient grandchild, translating everything it says into the super fast language of the internet, so it can finally join the conversation. It literally brings your old tech into the 21st century.
So let's see, we've got eyes, we've got hands, an autopilot, and a translator. But how do you actually control the whole shebang? Well, the best part is you've already got everything you need.
Yeah, forget about installing some clunky, complicated program. You just open a web browser, any web browser, type in the device's address, and boom, you get this control panel. From here, you can see all your inputs and flip your outputs right from this page. It's amazing.
I mean, look how simple this is. The CIE M10A just plugs into the internet, and then you can get to it from literally anywhere in the world that has a connection.
From your computer at the office, from your phone while you're on the train, you are always in control.
So let's just do a quick recap of the superpowers packed into this thing. You get remote eyes and hands with 8 digital inputs and outputs. You get that vibe check with its 1 analog input. You get an onboard autopilot thanks to the macro function. It's a translator for all your old gear, and you control all of it from a simple web browser.
When you boil it all down, what this thing really does is make smart automation and remote control simple and affordable. You don't need some massive, complex, expensive system anymore. This makes it possible for anyone to do it, and it saves you so much time and energy because you don't have to physically be there anymore.
And that really just brings us to the final question, doesn't it? With a tool this powerful, but this simple, what parts of your world are just sitting there waiting to be brought online? What dumb device in your factory, your farm, your home? What would you make smart?